Hello, everybody. How's it going, Sofa Squad? What's going on, everybody? Woohoo! How is everybody doing? Before we do get started, please drop a number one if you can hear me in the chat room. Let me know I'm just not talking to myself or Mr. Roscoe who's, at my feet. Um, and then we will get started. Dollywood, I love your name. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I do appreciate it. All right, we're in business. We're in business. Here we go, everybody. Okay, so first of all, if you're coming from the main channel, this is a different channel. This is the podcast channel. So make sure you're subscribed to this. They are different. Also, if you're watching from any other platform on here, make sure that you click the YouTube icon so you can come into the chat into this live chat here because I can't see like in the Patreon comments or on the community page on the other channel. The way we do things over here is it's a podcast, so this is not edited, videos of this. I stop, I talk to people, we hang out with the Sofa Squad, we talk about whatever's at hand for the week. Today it's Ruby Franke, and Jody Hildebrandt, and Kevin. So that's what we're gonna do over here. So that being said, let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, so today is Thursday, I think. So remember that Sunday morning we do the member Patreon chat in the morning. I don't remember the time, but it's in the community post. And I don't want to sit here and say right now because I will say the wrong time. I do know Sunday evening at 7:00 is our live chat back here again. Remember, we did not do a podcast or a documentary this week. We're going to be talking about Chad Daybell and more of this right here. We might even go, I don't want to say, we might go live between now and then to do more on this because there's so much to cover, y'all. Oh my God. So that being said, on the other screen, I am uploading the second interview that Kevin did. And that will go out tomorrow morning, hopefully at 8:00, like they do on the main channel. It's an edited thing. It's over an hour long. It's almost finished uploading. Let's just take a look real quick. 10 minutes left. Cross your fingers. I didn't mean to do. Oh, thank you, Emily. Emily, you're so sweet. And also, I can't believe I forgot the most important person. Everybody give Emily a round of applause. She is our moderator in chief. Also, Derek Reynolds is our moderator in chief as well, I guess. We need to give everybody there an applause and everything. They help make the channel happen. Could not do it without either of them. I do appreciate it greatly. And just scrapping, thank you very much. Oh, Roscoe says thank you. Let me heart that. I love that we can do that now. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you, Emily. So, let me get my phone with my notes. As y'all know, it is pretty much a hot damn mess over in Jody and what's her name land. So I haven't done an official live chat about this yet. So I was trying to even decide where do we even begin, right? Because I was just making notes. So all day long I've been living in, oh, thank you, just scrapping. Everybody give a thank you to who's getting the subscription or memberships from Just Scrapping and Emily. We do appreciate it. I've been living in Kevin Franke land today with his second interview, y'all. I can't with that, okay? But I feel like we need to start before we get there because the video hasn't come out yet. So I've done videos so far on the phone calls, which are major, then the arrest, which we've kind of talked about this a little bit. So I figure we'll hit on the phone calls a little bit that they did, and then and then like Kevin's first interview, and then by proxy his second interview, because when I listen to that second one, y'all, I cannot wait to see your comments in the comment section tomorrow morning. I'm literally dying. I don't know. I mean, I'm still just baffled by the stuff that was like, like what? So let's start off with just some of the phone call stuff. So this is what I learned from the phone calls, like I said in my video. Number one, they absolutely do not think they did anything wrong. Absolutely do not think they did anything wrong. Okay. Neither of them in their own way. Ruby knows how to play the game a little bit more. So she knows that she has to, what we saw her do, right? Flip on Jody. Jody's the bad person. Oh my gosh. Blah, 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 blah. And like I said in the video, the proof is in the pudding. She's up there giving this acceptance speech during the sentencing. And again, the whole thing of, I want to, I want to go to prison. I want to go. Oh, Vibes, thank you for joining. I choose a prison sentence. That's all you need to know right there. Then we clearly see looking at all this evidence, there's so much more still to go through. It pieces everything together. So you know how like Ruby was doing her thing during sentencing and she was all like that award speech and oh my gosh, I've been a victim of Jody and I did these horrible things. I take accountability. Well, we listen to what she says in the phone calls and she knows to play the game. They want to see you atone, take responsibility. That's how you're going to get out early, yada, yada, yada. So, there's that. Please hold. So then Jody doesn't say anything, and the lawyer mostly speaks for her. And the judge even has to ask, does she think she's responsible? Well, you can clearly listen to the phone calls that she's on that she doesn't think she did anything wrong. They both feel like martyrs. That's what blows my mind. Ruby just hides it a little bit better, but Jody, I mean, just like, yeah, I'm being sent to prison to minister. I'll gladly go. They're both doing that whole thing. I'll gladly go. It's interesting, and again, I'm not no psychologist or nothing like that. Okay, how if it's narcissism, if it's psychopathy, I don't know. Okay, but immediately turns into like, this is a chosen thing. I'm doing this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get that. It just seems blurry. Oh, Donna, thank you. She gifted 10 memberships. Yay. We appreciate you, Donna. I've got to get a new webcam. This one's just not cutting it anymore. I might do that. I don't know. But I just look at the picture on it, and maybe it's because I'm uploading. Because it's a nice little webcam. I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, I'm sitting here going off on a tangent. I just keep staring at the screen, and I'm like, why does it look like that? But maybe it doesn't look like that on y'all's end. Anyways, so they immediately turn this. It's all about them, right back to, oh, I'm supposed to, go, minister in prison and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And same thing with Lori and Chad, where everything is turned around to them. And I'm like, how did these people get through the day with this, right? So it blows my mind. Okay, so yeah, it is a tad bit blurry. Once my video's done uploading, I didn't mean for it to overlap. It took extra long. 5 minutes left. Once it does that, it'll probably get a little bit better. I apologize. It's been going for over an hour. I thought it would be done. Anyways, so the way they turn that around and everything. So then listening to Jody, well, both of them, there's something that really, they irritate me in two totally different ways, but also similar, if that makes sense. So listening to Jody talking to these people about this self-delusion and all this kind of stuff about, and it makes sense now listening to Kevin talk about her, what she was like, because I'm like, okay, this all makes sense. Hey, Murder Nerd. It all makes sense. So, and we're going to get to Kevin in a minute. But listening to those phone calls talking about that, I'm like, oh, well, this is exactly what's going on. And I mean, I don't know if she literally is like, what do you call it when you hallucinate and things like that. I mean, because I'm like, is this like schizophrenia? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and I'm not even joking. Like, I'm like, it literally seems like that. So the phone calls gave me a lot of context of, okay, we were all right. This was not authentic what we saw at sentencing. Got it. Get it. Good. Then we get to Mr. Kevin. Okay, so let's just talk about we're going to kind of jump from thing to thing here for a second because it's just like the first dedicated live chat that we've had here on this, over here or whatever. It's just been the comment section we've been talking, whatever. So excuse me if I jump around for a moment here. I'm just kind of going through all my stuff. So we're going to jump to Kevin's first interview real quick. So Kevin gets in there. Now, for me at least, the way I watched all this is I had not listened to the second, what do you call it, interview yet. So at first I was like, oh, right, we get to finally hear from Kevin, like, a voice of reason, hopefully. My God. Well, gee, dear Lord Almighty, let me just drinketh from the damn cuppeth over that. Hold on 1 second, please hold. Y'all, it got worse. The cops had to have been sitting in that room listening to this BS from him. Like, what? Like, are you serious? Especially during that second interview where it was like, bro, I mean, the stuff he was saying that he was letting, what's her name? Ruby get away, well, and Jody, but Ruby, his wife, get away. I was like, what? You, huh? I mean, it made 0 sense. Okay. So, first of all, and I can't remember if Emily, it was when you and I were talking. Um, okay, Nirvana, and thank you for the super chat. I think Kevin is AI. When you ask AI to make, if you go to AI and you're like, give me a representation of Ruby, Franke's husband, that's what you get right there. Okay, that's AI generated version right there. Okay, that's what we were presented. Okay, he was glitching hard. Okay, so he's like going through this stuff. And so first of all, okay, let me get back to this all. I don't remember if Emily, it was you and I talking about like maybe he was taking like Xanax or someone said that or something like, but that's the vibe. Oh, thanks, Elaine. Jesus sent Jody to prison to do the Lord's work. I mean, for real, at least that's what she's saying to get through the day, right? And thank you very much. So he's coming out. He has this incredibly monotone voice, and I'm just in here like, think back to your days in school. I'm thinking back to this college course that I took, and this is in my like mid-20s. And the professor, it was 7 in the morning, y'all, and it was like British lit or something. I mean, y'all, it was all I could do not to fall out of this damn chair every morning. And listening to Kevin, I was like this over here. I was like, oh my God, this guy is putting me to sleep. Okay. Like, there's not a bone in this man's body. He's just like this puddle of a man, right? But when he's talking, you start again to see the little things come out where there's not much worry over the kids that we're seeing. Maybe there was before footage. We don't know. I doubt it. I doubt if there was that he acted that way. And then all this is going on, and it's like, and then at one point I can't get over it. And I said it in the first video about his thing where he was like, well, what about Ruby? What about my wife? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you once we got the second interview and that man said what was going on, the fact that he had not taken those children, gone to the first damn divorce court, and been like, I want full custody. I also need a damn exorcism and about a dump truck of damn sage. Just burn the whole house down. In fact, dump the sage on the house, pour it in gasoline, and burn it all. It's all broken. It's no good. Okay. I'm talking like, what? Okay, so that was a big takeaway for me in his first interview. And I think I saw somebody up here talking about where he was guarded, maybe Murder Nerd. I can't remember who said it, where he was very guarded with what he said. Yes. I understand that anyone in any situation is going to kind of be like, well, hold on, what's going on, whatever. But in this scenario, because it's so slippery, where it's like, oh, we're in major trouble now over the kids' behavior, or not kids' behavior, over our behavior towards the kids. It's pretty obvious he saw what was going on. Pretend for a second and I'm not talking about specifically in Jody's house, but like before Jody. I mean, and we now know clearly, I mean, that was a thing, right? He just sat by and just let her do whatever. He was just another one of our kids, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just let her do whatever she wanted to. It was like, okay, sure. And so him sitting there going along with that is where in the first interview I was just like, yeah, this isn't right. Okay. Okay, Murder Nerd says he refused to answer the kids. Hold on, I'm gonna put this up here. How do you do that? I'm in the wrong thing. Okay, never mind. I'm in the wrong screen. Okay, so Murder Nerd says he refused to answer how he disciplined the kids. He knew it was wrong. Exactly. There was things like that snuck out in his answers and his speaking that was like obvious. Oh, this dude knows stuff isn't right. Also, I don't remember if it was interview 1 or 2, but it was a mixture of both. The way he talks about essentially overall, if you want to call it, their cancellation of 8 passengers, of the public canceling them. And he relates it back to number one, the incident over, I think, was it Chad? I can't remember which son it was, the name of them, who, hey, Natalie, who, slept in the beanbag. And that's pretty popular footage. We've seen it or whatever. He's like, with a beanbag, and then she left her lunch home one day, and he acted so nonchalant, and literally, like, I was waiting for these words to come out. I don't know what everybody was upset about. I mean, it's just he slept on a beanbag. He had a place. She left her lunch at home. Like, he didn't see anything wrong with this stuff, which tells you that the stuff that we probably didn't see, because here's the thing that he was okay with. The things that they were okay with putting on camera, I can't fathom what went on when that camera went off. Because I'm watching, like, I've got several TikToks saved. Number one, the one's going around real big where she's talking. I can't remember the name of the child, but it's her daughter, and they're on the porch talking. And what's her name? I almost called her Lori. Ruby is basically saying, like, how pissed off she is. And the daughter all of a sudden says, well, in fact, hold on, let's just pull it up. Hold on. She's like, are you mad? And you could tell the vibe changes. And then from there, the son's like, I'm going to go change for bat football. And she realizes that he left his thingamajig, pardon me, his socks, and that's when she makes him drop and give her 10. Okay, hold on, let me find it. Please hold. I just favorited it. Right here. Okay, no, wait. Let me do this. Okay, so we're gonna play this TikTok. Okay, please hold.
Oh no, this is an uncomfortable conversation we must have.
Let me get the correct camera so I can see it live. Hold on. All right. So I'm gonna play it. So this is what it looks like.
Let's sit. I gave Julie a tongue lashing that will not ever be repeated nor recorded. Just use your imagination. It was bad.
Okay, hold on. Somebody in the comments said her Miranda Sings outfit, and she is wearing a Miranda Sings outfit. Okay, I'm gonna keep holding it up here so you can see it.
I am gonna say one nice thing, and that is you took your lashing very well. And I'm going to pretend that life is exactly how I want it.
I'm gonna go get dressed for football.
You're gonna have to go find your shorts. Oh, did you see the socks you threw at the side of the garden?
Look at the fear. Look at the fear.
Unless you pick up your junk.
Look at the fear.
You've got drawn all around. Now, so you see, now I'm using bad language. That's how bad of a mood I'm in. You get your socks picked up, and don't you leave your stuff out anymore.
Where?
Right over there. Run and go pick them up, and then give me 10 push-ups. Put them in your pockets so you can take them down to the hamper and drop and give me 10.
One.
Put your hands straight out. They're in. They're not supposed to be out. Shape your hands forward. There you go.
Who in God's name would think that anything? Could y'all hear that? Who in God's name would think that was she had a channel of it with millions of subs? I mean, and the way she was talking to her little girl, oh, you could tell. I was like, you can just pure evil. There's nothing behind her eyes. Okay. And why would you do that to your children? And listen, I'm going to pretend that life is how I want it. And I'm like, people subscribe to this. Another one of them, somebody had posted, well, let me see, I might have saved it, one of their podcast.
Conversation.
Oh, and so also, okay, so hold on, we'll get to that in a second. Pardon me. What I was going to say, let me finish my thought. Sorry, I had the conversation in my brain and then keep moving on. I apologize. So, somebody posted on another TikTok, her and Jody, one of their videos that they did, and the one where they're talking about what a Karen is and basically how they don't believe that they think Karen's a derogatory name for people who hold their children accountable. And it's so obvious, like the smirmy, kissy uppy vibe from what's her name? I keep wanting to call her Lori, Ruby to Jody. And then people were talking about like just that energy in general. Well, now knowing after what Kevin said that, pardon me, Ruby was all about wanting to be the best friend, wanting to, be, the most popular, the most this or whatever. And she was like really playing sucky uppy to what's it called? To what's her name? Jody. So now I'm like, oh, okay, this all makes sense, right? Um, it's so weird to now look back on this stuff with this information that he's kind of put out here, right? Of just like you can see it in action where it's like, oh, like she was fixated on kissing Jody's butt. And now let's talk about that dynamic for a second. Okay. Because here's the thing. I keep trying to figure out what it was. Now we can pretty much surmise what Jody wanted from Lori. God knows I keep doing it from Ruby. This is really bad, y'all. It's very telling though, right? Okay, so I think so. You can't tell me any different that they didn't have some kind of relationship going on. Okay, period. End of damn story. After him talking about, Jody's head would spin around 3 times, and she throw up pea soup, and then Ruby'd run to her rescue, and they had to sleep in the bed together. Absolutely not. Letting them sleep in a damn bed together. Ask him permission to come back home. I cannot, y'all. Y'all, I am not, y'all. That right there had me over the damn. I can't get there. Okay, so anyways, so I think she wanted her number one. Lauren, aim and 100%. She wanted her number one, but then the money, the notoriety, the brand. Because remember, what's his name keeps talking about, Kevin keeps talking about, Ruby had a brand. She had this. I'm like, what brand? She was like canceled. Okay. Like, going down the tubes, like probably not great. But again, for those two type personalities where they view themselves as martyrs and all this type stuff, it probably just fed into their stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Jody was the grifter. I mean, they both were, but Jody especially. She was grifting. They had what, $85,000 cash, doing this, getting all this money from these people. So to me, getting that and then attaching what's her name to it, who was like very versed with doing the channel, very popular. It was like a way to draw people in as far as Jody's concerned. What I don't understand is why Ruby, unless she saw it as her next supply. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knew the 8 passengers was done with. She had to find a new grift, a new narcissistic feeding supply, and she saw it with Ruby. Because remember, also, Kevin was like, and I can't remember their last name, but the friends that tried to get them hooked up with Jody first until they had to kick her out of the house. We'll talk about that in a second. And she was jealous. And Kevin was like, oh, Ruby was always jealous that they were like more closer friends and all this type of stuff. So it was like a game to her, I guess. And so she finally won. She got in there. But look at, what winning that prize got her, right? So that part right there, I'm like, I'm just like, yeah, why would you be handing over all of your stuff? Like, what's the payoff? What's the result? You know what I'm saying? And Shannon says, because Ruby saw she could manipulate Jody very easily. And Shannon, I do believe you are very correct there. Hey, Pi, how's it going? Jody hated Ruby's success. Oh, yeah, she probably wanted to destroy it. Wanted to absolutely destroy it. And yeah, okay, so here's another thing. Let's just talk about for a second the possession stuff. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. I'm going to try and make a reel for Instagram or whatever of the section where I did that, because y'all, I'm snorting in the damn video. Okay, when he started talking about, I can't remember what he said, Satan's bride. When he started talking about that, y'all, it had me snorting in the damn video. And I left it in there too, because I was like, this is absolutely too much for me, right? Okay, when I was listening to that second interview, the more it kept going, I was like, wait, what? I was rewinding it. I mean, y'all, I've been glued to this damn computer for like almost 24 hours, just like going back over it, like, what? What? So when Kevin's like, soon as she came into the house, weird stuff started happening. Things are floating through the air. And I'm like, huh? It sounds like people's like hands are running up and down the walls and doing this. And this is what I said in the video. So let's start with this right here. So Kevin talking about inanimate objects would get up and fly across the room. Okay, this is my thing I said in the video. I said this. I was like, okay, I want to know for a fact, did this man see? I am sitting here, cup levitates on its own across the damn room. Is this man saying that is what he saw? Because I have a lot of questions and concerns about those kids going back there. But number two, okay, after that, I'm like, or was it something like he heard a loud crash and went in the kitchen and Jody was standing there and said that a plate flew across the thing? That kind of thing, because that's what I feel like. Because when he started saying that, I was like, bro, this ain't gonna help you getting custody. Okay, I'm just saying, like, even if you saw that, you might have to. This is called Charge of the damn game, and Jody is the game, y'all. Ruby knows how to play it. Okay, she did it in the thing. She was like, she charged it to the game. If you really legitimately, like, say his house is legit haunted, you better, if you want those kids back, you better not say so. You better blame all that ish right on Jody, talking about she was in the kitchen crashing dishes, talking about this house is haunted. You better blame it on her. Okay, so that part gave me pause, right? Because I'm just like, come on, right? So then, it just kept, y'all know if you watch it, it just kept getting worse, right? So then when he's like talking about her, he's like, well, when she came in the house, like all this crazy ish started happening, and it's like, the stuff's floating around and, noises and this and that. And I'm like, okay. Then when he gets to the part, so then when he starts talking about she would go into, oh God, what is it, y'all? What is it when she would go into, what's the word? It starts with a T, not transfiction, not translation. God, what is that word? Whatever that word is, where she would go into like start talking in tongues and trance. Thank you, Murder Nerd. Where she would go into a trance and start talking in tongues, talking about I'm Satan's bride. I can hear it right now. And I'm sitting here thinking, and then I said this in the video when he said this. If she's faking it, I said if. That's an option to use the word if. That's where we're at. Okay. All that ish that you just said, and you can honestly say, if she's faking it, don't send those damn kids back in that house. Okay. I'm sorry. Do not. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Makes me sick to my damn stomach. And then, okay, so there's that, right? Then, I'm Satan's bride and all this type of stuff. So there's a couple of things that jump out. First of all, let's talk about the obvious, right? She's going into these little trances and zoning out, damn devil himself coming out, throwing up all over, doing all this stuff. And then he's like, well, it's happening so often. Ruby finally decided just to sleep in the room with her. And I'm like, what? You fell for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you fell for that. And he's like, well, I couldn't go to the second floor, for that's where Jody lived. And I'm like, she's living in your house. You know what it reminds me of? What's that show we watched? Abducted in Plain Sight. Remember where they're like, it's the strangest thing. He kidnapped her for the 4th time. We didn't see it coming. That's literally what this reminds me of. Okay. Oh, just scrapping. Thank you. She just gifted 5 things. Memberships. Yay. I mean, they might be distant damn cousins of the Abducted in Plain Sight, because I was like, you fell for that. Your wife's banging Jody, which I have. Okay, let's be honest here, y'all. I mean, if she was gonna go with him, I mean, come on. I renamed Jody the Gremlin in the video I just did. I mean, that's just what I called her, right? And I was like, I'm sorry to insult Gizmo, but I'm sorry, this is what she is, right? Just a nasty little gremlin. So there's that thing. And then then another part that jumped out when he's like, well, she was almost ready to go back home, but then she went into another trance. I'm like, she wasn't ready to go back home. She was working y'all over. The first people that were trying to get them, remember here, like we went on the trip to the Europe with the Pratts or somebody like that, and the whole time they're trying to get him to go join this, connections and all this type stuff. And so he is like, but then they're also trying to get us to join another cult. And I'm like, what is it with you people? Y'all got a bunch of damn time in your hands, right? Get a hobby, read a book. I mean, my God, can't decide which cult to join. I'm like trying to merge cults, Well, you heard the part. Let's talk about the 6 weeks that, hold on. Okay, murders. I don't think they actually had sex. Just Jody being really intimate with Ruby. Probably, it's creepy too. It's like creepy stuff, like mixing with like Chad Daybell creepy shit stuff. Sorry. That damn book you wrote. Oh, I need to ask y'all something about that when we get to it in a minute. Okay, so when that couple had her come in the house, and Jody is a good girl. Are you talking about the naughty thing, Agent, where she was like, I'm not naughty? Or that was Frankie. Or that was Ruby, where she's like, I'm not a naughty girl. Okay, so that couple that let her move in for like 6 weeks, and they were like, yeah, she was like doing some really weird stuff. Like she was doing all this crazy stuff to herself. She was like trying to seduce the husband. We had to kick her out. I'm like, that's the real Jody. Okay, right. I believe every word of it. Right? Every last word of it, they believed. I believed. And so then the part, so I'm like, did y'all not take these people were all up her butt and they even threw her out? Okay. What part of this did y'all not follow suit? Okay. That's the part that blew my mind. And instead, Ruby looks at it as a chance to be like, ooh, now I can get close to her. They honestly deserve each other, her and Ruby. They should be cellmates. Okay. They should put them in a cell together and just let nature take its damn course. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm dying to see what their sentence is. If it's anything less than 100,000 years, I will be disappointed. Thank you, Green Eyed Bandit. Okay, so yeah, Mary says Jody was obviously very depressed. You could tell by her cavernous house and her lack of hygiene. Yeah. So then that part where he's like, she never bathed. She always wore that thing, the hoodies. I mean, it all fell in line where I was like, yeah. And I'm like, and then, okay, so sorry, I'm jumping around, but this part just jumped into my head. Can we talk about the fact that she was taking $900 from a 17-year-old son? And they were okay with what's his name? Kevin and Ruby are okay with this for therapy. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Who in their right mind? He's like, he was paying that to get brainwashed. I'm like, I don't care if it was the best therapy in the damn world. Like, why would you are you kidding me? These poor children. Oh my God, I bet they were so glad she's behind bars. Yeah, Calamity Jane says that 900 took me out. That's an insane amount of money. Right? For $900, that person better have some books out there. And I'm not talking the stupid stuff that Jody has, holding damn armor and stuff. I'm talking they need Dr. Phil something. They need to have their own damn talk show at this point, right? Yeah, Denise says even the YouTube manager worried about him. I know, right? Even the YouTube manager who's looking to make a buck was like, this is sketchy. And what'd she do? She fired her. Oh, thank you, Pi. Yeah, I think y'all also remember if you're a membership or a member, I think you get like a comment like what Pi just did. Jody was getting millions from her clients. Oh yeah, you see the grift. You see how the grift worked, right? You see how it worked. She was getting money hand over fist. Okay, now let's talk about that part. Let's talk about how Kevin was led down this path. Okay, and I say I'm being very, whatever with that. Okay. when he starts talking, especially in, I call it season 2, interview 2, where you're hearing him put it together. Oh yeah, we do need to talk about that Save Murder Nerd. Remember that. When he's putting it together, he's like, well, at first he's like, I didn't like this. I mean, it was like, it didn't seem whatever, but then we talked and, it was kind of nice. So when he said that, I was challenged to have an open conversation with my wife. And I'm like, you didn't think that Jody was behind the scenes manipulating that? And he's like, I talked to her about, asking her for lovemaking as her husband and asking her to do things like wear laundry or lingerie and how that made her feel over the years. And, I'm like, okay. And again, let's give benefit of the doubt. Like, was he getting like overly freaky all day long? Like what? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But I have a feeling just from what we've seen of Ruby, he could have asked for, a little nookie once a month and that would have been too much. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, he's probably trying to liven it up, right? I mean, my God. So, but like every step of the way, you could tell he knew some kind of form of right from wrong because his initial gut was right. It was like, I didn't like Jody. She seems sketchy. Yes, this is a good answer. This is correct. But then we let her move in. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, no, we've gone off. No. How'd we do that? Oh, hey, Dwayne, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you're well. And everything was like that. Like, she wanted her to move in. And I was like, yeah, I don't want that in my house. And then she was like, well, we're going to get separated. So I was like, well, okay. We'll make it like a vacation. And every step of the way, he knew right from wrong initially, but went along with it. Now, I will say this, and this is, I'm not trying to come to his defense, but pretend we're talking about somebody else. You've been with somebody 20 some years. You've got kids, you got a home, you got a life, you got all this stuff. Obviously, you want to make things work, right? Get it. Got it. Good. Okay. Understand that completely. Don't doubt them for that. You know what I'm saying? However, with him, where I was like, and I also understand that things happen a little bit slowly. We don't go from A to Z immediately. It's in increments, right? It's grooming, whatever you want to call it. So I'll give everybody that benefit of the doubt. However, this is what I can. When you start seeing this BS that this woman was doing, and you already had the gut feeling that told you this over here, she ends up in your house. She's taking over the second floor, head spinning around, throwing up pea soup, talking about I'm Satan's bride. There comes a point where you have to say to your person, this is not right. This is not good. I have to protect the kids and our family. I am leaving. This is what we're doing. If you do not follow suit, this is the direction I will go with this. I will lawyer up and, you know what I'm saying? Because his thing of like, I don't know. I didn't know what was going on with the kids. I haven't seen them for a year. So I'm like this. I'm like, okay. You saw that you had the devil himself living on the second floor in your house, right? And in the video, I did the thing of the exorcist coming down upside down stairs. I mean, that's literally what it reminds me of. You knew how wrapped up your wife was with the devil. You knew they were intertwined, yet you listened to her and turned your back on that, knowing how unstable this woman was, and was like, oh, I haven't talked to him for a year. It's probably why he didn't act that surprised over stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, well, yeah, what would you expect? He just literally let her do whatever she wanted to do. And so hold on. I see. So there's that, right? Now, then, okay, so there's that. So, you arrive at where you're at, whatever. Then get into the financial stuff. Please hold. Then you have him talking about she wanted me to sign the cars over and I was in compliance, so I did it. And then, she was like, do you, and this is like so telling because you can see how she operates, where she was like, I might want to make an investment on my own. Do you trust me enough to do that and sign something? And it's just like, he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, you're lucky you still have the house. Now, mind you, they got what, $85,000 of the kids? Again, look at it's so similar. Look at Lori and Chad, where they're draining everybody's bank accounts, all in the name of this 140,000, when really all they're doing is screwing each other's brains out, right? Writing this crappy smut to each other. They're actually just willingly just taking everybody out, kids, anybody that gets in their way. Ruby and Jody were moments away from that. Days. I would give it days. That little boy, if he had not gone out of that house, I hope he knows how many of his siblings' lives he saved, um, including his own, because he was probably days away from being killed by them. I mean, so okay, I'm now that I'm kind of like throwing it all up, we can kind of start like going back over some things. But yes, the financial part where it was like money, and again, you always follow the money. It's always just coinciding with all this stuff, right? So that part right there. Oh yay, Dwayne! He gifted 10 memberships. Woohoo! Thank you, Dwayne. So you follow the money, you get to that, whatever. Now it's all wrapped up in this. We're God. We're supposed to do this. We have these missions. We're doing, whatever. I would love to be able to, for a split second, be able to somehow prove whether they actually believe this stuff or not. Okay. Whether they actually believe this stuff or not. And I'll talk about Ruby and Jody. I would venture to say that what's his name, Kevin, believes now I can't speak for today, but when we heard him and the things and stuff, I think he 100% believed in that stuff. I mean, you heard him say, if Jody's faking this, and I'm like, bro, she's talking about, she's Satan's bride, head spinning in circles, crawling up the damn wall like a spider. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, yes, she obviously is faking this, right? And working you two over completely. But Ruby wanted her to. Ruby wanted that. Ruby invited it in. He just didn't. It's not that he didn't care. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was so whatever with her. So now I saw somebody up there in the comment, listening up there pointing. Somebody previously in the comment section said something basically like, judging from her journal entries, she enjoyed torturing the children. Absolutely, I haven't. So let me just say this: I'm going to start going through those journal entries. Those are the videos I'm recording tomorrow. We've been completely slow at work this whole season, and if you follow me for many years, you'll know when something pops off in true crime, I'm either cutting the grass or work is crazy. So luckily it's not been so crazy. I've been able to go through the evidence, you know what I'm saying? But it's had to be like one thing at a time or whatever. So hold on, I think, is it done? Yes. Okay. So, oh wait, let me check on this other screen to make sure the video is finished. Yes. Okay, cool. So that will be 8:00 in the morning. Woohoo. Okay. So, oh wait, I've been in the wrong screen. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. Okay, gotta catch up. There we go. So I've been going through it. So long story short, I have not gotten to the journals. I'm doing those tomorrow. So that will be like the weekend stuff or whatever. But I mean, I've looked at it a little bit, just getting ready to, you know what I'm saying? But not like gone through it and made a video is what I'm trying to get at. So 100, you can look at the videos of her YouTube videos. She absolutely got off. And that little TikTok we watch, there is a sadistic thing that she enjoys. Like, and when I say get off, I'm not trying to be like, tawdry, but like she gets off on it. Like, she likes it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she likes doing that. She likes being mean to her children. There was one where I feel like she had some of the other kids. Oh, Emily gifted membership. Thank you, Emily. I feel like she had maybe some of her sister's kids that are over there, and they were in a row getting food. She'd give them a spoonful. She'd be like, go to the back. Now go to the back. And the tone and the look in her eyes, I was like, she is scary. Okay, scary. You saw the little boy, in the TikTok of that video that we were looking at earlier, when he gets up to go do his football thing and she says, like, you left or whatever, and he turns around, you can see the look in his eyes. Even her little girl, where she all of a sudden says, wait, are you angry at me? And everything mentally is switching over to mom's angry because she gets vindictive. Can you imagine the mind game she played with them? You saw what she was okay putting on the thing, right? You saw what she was okay putting out there. Imagine behind the scenes, because she said, it's a lashing that will never be recorded. You took your lashing well. And then you heard Jody, and that tells you all you need to know. Jody in the phone call talking about kids are going to rise up, and this is what's going on with me. You know, excuse me. This is what's, thank you, Mama Bear. You kids are going to rise up, and you can't raise your kids these days. And, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and then this part too, the way she was so dick her heels in the sand over this. We didn't do that to him. We put the things on him. He did that to his ankles by squirming around. I'm like, are you serious? That's what you're going to say on a jailhouse recorded phone call, number one. Are you kidding me? You saw, if you haven't, you can look it up. Y'all, so let's talk about the evidence for a second. Now, I don't know. I might do a video on the because there's stuff I want to say about like when they find everyone in the house, but doing like the photos and stuff. I mean, you know where to find that stuff, but I'm not going to put it on a video because that stuff I don't like. I mean, it's weird because as much as we talk about this type of stuff, and maybe when I was younger, I would be more like, oh, let me see like the victim photos or things like that. I'll watch a horror movie all day long. I'll watch Chainsaw Massacre all day long. But when it comes to stuff like that, like at this point in life, because you just as you get older, you know how fragile life is. You know what I'm saying? And so, and how delicate it is, and how like when you get to be here and you're like, number one, like I survived all this. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't believe I'm still here. So then when you see real people, especially kids, vulnerable populations, things of this nature, victimized by people like, Jody, Ruby, Lori, all that, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I can't take it. But I saw the pictures of the little boy, his wounds, and his size. And I was like, I mean, because again, I didn't think that he was, I don't know why I didn't think that they had starved him to that degree, because if you're to the point of going and asking for food, obviously you're desperate, right? Please hold. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, I mean, we knew it was bad, but this is bad, bad. Like they were probably close to killing them. You know what I'm saying? And did not see anything wrong with it. Dug their heels in over it. Felt justified over it. Feel martyred over it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm like, look at Lori. You think Lori's changed? You think she's still you heard what she said at sentencing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like what? Oh, thank you, Lauren. Gifted 5 memberships. Hey, Lauren, we appreciate you. Thank y'all are all so sweet. That's so nice of you. Y'all, so I know I said this on the thing, and if you're a member of the either channel, then you already know this. Y'all, they did it to where you can do member shorts on here, not like the fashion thing. And maybe it's just a behind the scenes thing, but they made it very user friendly to create them. So you can do them from the phone and upload it just to members or whatever. So I've been doing those. So just I think it comes up. I don't know where it comes up. I think maybe somebody said in Patreon that they saw it on their shorts thing, but just be on the lookout for it. Anyways, so excuse me. Okay, what else was jumping out at me? Let's switch back to the second interview because so much was in that. Okay, so I want to talk about this. I want to come back to this because I kept coming back to it in the video. What do we think? And I want to read comments over this one, so I'm going to kind of like take a minute to do this. Yo, what do we think about him, Kevin, saying this stuff is floating around the house and flying around the house? And that he said, because remember, he's like, I'm an engineer. I'm a smart guy. I can't explain things. Plates were flying. What do y'all think that was? Do you think he was lying? Because I just can't wrap my mind around that, for the love of God. I'm like, what? I mean, I'm dumbfounded by that statement. I'm absolutely dumbfounded by that statement. Wait, Lisa, is there a thing where you can create or can give 10 memberships? Wait, hold on. What's this? Hold on. What is this? Or a month as well. I heard Michelle talking about it. Oh. Well, please hold. Let's just look into this. I think believes he saw that because of the brand. Okay, that's a good one. Mass hysteria, drugs. Yeah, he was lying. Kevin just about he was bamboozled too. He was just as bad. Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, I really hope he eventually realizes this if he doesn't. Let's see here. There's new comments. Oh, Dwayne, you're awesome. You did another one. Everyone like think you think drugged, and so a lot of people have been saying that where they think maybe he was being drugged. Kevin is duped. I think Jody, where they think he was drugged. I mean, it would. I mean, do y'all think that or lying? A lot of people think he's lying. They think he believed it because okay, here's the number one thing. He seems so gullible, y'all. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but I mean, I literally listened to this thing where he was like, well, yeah, I mean, it only made sense for Jody to sleep in the bedroom with her. And then these very lustful sounds would come out of the room for the next few hours. But they were like, oh, that was just the devil talking. Okay. Also, you know how Jody would like pretend to be like in a trance or whatever? You know, she would do like weird stuff. Like when she got kicked out of that guy's house, I can bet you anything that she was like feeling that woman's husband up and she was like, it was the devil. I don't know. I don't remember what I just did. What was I doing? And she was like, yeah, you're groping my husband, honey. You got to go. I don't care if it's a damn devil or not. We're done. Get your hands off my man. That's where her belief and all that started and stopped right there. When Jody started coming out to her man, she was like, you gotta go, girl. That's my man. Oh, Jennifer, man, you got your cup too. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Let me agree with you 100%. Hold on. The devil made me do it. You know she's doing that. So thank you, Dwayne. But I mean, for real, y'all. When she started talking that mess, I was like, look, y'all. Ain't no way, y'all. Ain't no way. But he believed that. Okay, and then so let's talk about the group stuff that he was doing with her. So remember how I was like saying earlier, where it was like he would have his gut feeling, and he would be like, you know, hey, this is bad vibes, whatever, and then go along with it, trying to preserve the family, the friendship, whatever you want to say. So then they're like trying to get him to do a men's group, So he's like, well, so I joined the men's group. And I'm like, oh my God. A men's group run by Jody. Okay. You know, then when he's talking about it and he was like, you know, she would pile on to people and he was using the men's group jargon. And he's like, well, it worked for, you know, it really did help. And I'm like, did it really though? Or are we just saying that because you wanted it to work for, you know, Ruby or whatever, trying to get her back? Because again, no talk of bettering a relationship with children from any of these people, right? Like kids, absolute afterthought. Okay, so now I wanted to see here how we do. How do we do this? Close. I was just gonna look real quick. Send a highlighted member. Super chat. Buying for viewers. Where does it say you can gift the ones as a creator? How does that work? Okay, I'll come back. So I'm not tweaking out on this. I'm trying to see what that thing is for where you can gift as a creator. Hold on. Where you get somebody for free or whatever somebody was saying. Because I know I may or have already done that. I don't remember. Anyways, Paul, the children were considered property of the parents. More Mormon culture. Okay. Kevin thought it was working because he was suffering and miserable. That's weird. Yeah. I want to see the pen paper so damn bad, y'all. So he's in this group, they're doing that, and then you can hear him talking about where you can see it all coming and crashing. Jody's working his wife over, and then he becomes the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And then he acts well, yeah. And then so at one point he's talking about all the stuff that went down where Jody or Ruby, wait there, yes, we did that before. Okay, thank you. Where Ruby wants the separation. He was like, it was an in-house separation. He talks like one of the kids describing their punishment. And this is how you know she's really done this number on him. So, oh no, here we go. Roscoe. You already know what Roscoe's doing. He's over here at the door. Hold on, y'all. Let me go get him. Hold on. He's howling. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Um, it gets to be about Roscoe's like, okay, what's going on? Why are we not in bed? Um, so he starts talking about the men's group and everything, and he was like the piling on, which is like basically the way I understand this to be is if you're in the men's group and like you're doing something or whatever and you're not doing it right, then they pile on, which is basically like being like, you're doing this, you're doing that, blah 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 blah, kind of a thing. And he was like, well, all the men would just jump in with whatever Jody said, and I'm like, God, y'all, if we could get a recorded thing of one of those men's group, somebody had to have recorded it. Is it out there? Do we know? Did somebody record these men's group and put it out there somewhere? We have got to see it if they did. I'm sure it is like absolutely cringy, right? But he's talking about it, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, of course, but at the one point that he says, then the men's group started getting weird, and this is after like the in-house separation, all this. My first thought was, I'm like, you were still in the men's group at that point? You're still paying this woman. What? Mind was blown. Okay, mind was blown over this. That I was like, you're still paying for this. So, shocked over that. Ouch. And then after that, he is like, you could tell where it was like, well, then, I kind of fell to the bottom, and, and I wasn't like in the top anymore, whatever, because remember, like they would go to the thing and you could hear how she was grooming, and she'd be like, I want y'all to talk about your experience. Go on, Kevin, get on up there. And he's like, yeah, you get up there and be like, yeah, I mean, I was the one that was like, this is just a bunch of women hating or men hating women, but it worked. Look at my woman over there. Yeah. She lets me come home at 10 o'clock in the morning sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're just like, okay, got it. It was almost like I think he enjoyed that attention a little bit too, as a passenger, if you will, no pun included. So then when she isolates him, I mean, these are just like classic, oh, wait, hold on. Okay, Amy says, excited utterance on YouTube has an interview with Jody and Kevin at men's group. Oh my God, thank you, Amy. Absolutely have to go watch that. Totally. Thank you for posting that, Amy. So, excuse me. So when he's describing this, and he's on the outs and all this type stuff, and she's isolating him, classic techniques of, whatever. And you're listening to a story and it's like, well, no, honey, you're never going to jump through her hoop. She wants to get rid of you, but not your wallet. Like, that's what this is. Like, you've allowed this gremlin into your marriage, into your home, into your family. And again, I will say this, you saw what she did to you. This is the part that gets me. You saw what she did to you. But then you just went along with whatever and stayed away for a year, like hands off. And the way he talked, I just really wanted my family back. I'm like, you do. I know in a lot of situations where it's like, yeah, the woman is going to typically get custody and things of this nature. I'm sorry, y'all, but in this scenario or whatever, probably with a right lawyer, you could have gotten in there. But like murder, nervous hand, she was highly permitted by the LDS Church. That was what made Jody dangerous, is the people behind her. She had this ability, and this is very frightening to see that this logic on display of hers was promoted by anybody other than Satan. Okay, literally. She had this, pardon me, she had this ability to get in, and you heard the guy say that used to be from her group, like she had everyone convinced that he was the crazy one. The church, the work, this, that. This is what she spent her time doing. She would find a victim, and then all of a sudden Kevin becomes her victim. I'm sure he was piling on other people too. He was, when it was his time, whatever. Like when he was like not falling from grace or whatever. So, But that's the part, I just go back to that one. I'm like, you saw what she did to you, so how could you turn your back on that? Because in my mind, I'm like, there had to have been something you could do to go get an attorney, something to be like, this is going on, this needs to be looked into. The police, something like this, what's going on here? Um, Especially with the cancellation of the channel and the child abuse stuff and all that. Unless Jody had judges and all that in her back pocket too. Yeah, people saying the LDS church. Yeah, I mean, it's scary. Pardon me. Um, yeah, the custody. Yeah, so okay, so where are we at with this, right? Does Kevin have custody or anything of the children right now? Because from those interviews that he did, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that I cannot fathom. Well, I shouldn't say that. We see how this works, right? We see case after case. Oh, no, I literally said today, I must have sounded really judging him because she sent me readings to help me not judge it, including me and so on. I don't think so. Okay, these children, nope. Okay, so he does not have custody. And here's my thing. It's obviously I'm not in his shoes. It's not my battle to fight, but just a little bit that we've seen of it, because this is not. Remember, this case went pretty quickly through the system, right? It had to. And in fact, let's talk about that for 1 second. This phone calls. Let's revert back. Let's rewind a little bit. Okay, so remember on the phone calls when Jody's talking to the person, and or I'm sorry, I think it was Ruby, and she was talking about Jody, and she was like, yeah, she wanted to plead out. She didn't do it because she's like sorry for it. She just didn't want a life sentence. And, she knows that the children, or I would testify against her, whatever. And whoever it was, like, either stopped themselves or they cut it off, they edited it out there. But I'm thinking, I think I said this in my video about it too. And I'm just like, neither of them. Here's the thing. This all is toxic and horrible as they were for each other, all the people involved in this case. It also worked to their benefit because neither one of those women could risk the other one getting on a stand and testifying against them. Number one, because they both had more stories on each other. Number two, neither of them could even remotely risk those children getting on the stand and speaking. It would be a wrap. They would never get out of prison. Okay, because this little bit that we saw is just the tip of the iceberg. There's no way they could have this children up there. Now they're going to sit here and play martyrs, and they're going to sit here and be all like, "Oh yeah, we don't want the kids to go through that." Apps, they don't care. They don't care about those kids at all, right? They don't care about them. If they want to be in the situation they're in. So, pardon me, state has custody. Okay, they're in foster. Okay. I mean, it's sadly, as much as it sucks for them to have to, I know foster care sucks, and I don't know if they're with another family member or whatever, but I mean, this is a scenario where it's like, I mean, from what I saw of Kevin in that thing, I just don't know how well he is. He has to snap out of that, this Jody or Ruby. Because remember, and all that, the first thing is like, well, what about Ruby? And I get this is all going down this one day. He is coming in off the street, basically told this is what happened. And he's been living his whole life and existence trying to get Ruby and the family back. And they just keep putting the bar up to where he'll never be able to jump through it. And when he was talking about, well, I go to work and act like nothing happened, then come home and do connections workbooks and all this and live in the connections world. Can you imagine? Y'all saw, I mean, if you haven't, we've gone over the website here and listened to the stuff. Can you imagine putting in an 8-hour workday and then coming home and living in that world? God forbid having to go through a Zoom chat with Jody while she's sitting over there with the camera turned off doing little gremlin things on her side. No. They're like, she would never show her face. I bet she wouldn't. There's no telling what she was doing. There's no telling what she was doing. So then also going back to the phone calls, I'm just kind of jumping around my memory, just not my memory. Well, my memory is shot, but just in general. So when Jody was talking on the phone, talking about, they've been after me, they've been after me. This is a thing with her where, and I think it's an attention seeking thing of one, and it also self-importance, narcissism, delusions of grandeur. I mean, I'm not qualified to give those things out, but it's just what it seems like. Nirvana says, and thank you, Ultra Colors came out on this cause. Can already hear boredom in the voice on the other end. I know. Yeah, 100%. Excuse me. She's using her skills to persuade the courts and public that she's sorry. They'll go easy on her. She's using her skills to her benefit. Yeah, Monica, I agree, 100%, 100%. And who knows? Again, she knows how to play the game, where Jody doesn't. Jody's still off in La La Land or whatever. I hope he was able to grow her hair back. I can't believe Ruby. I mean, who does that stuff that they did to him? It's what's weird about this case is it's like so much, and maybe because so if you look at Lori and Chad, how that was like this, it just slowly happened because it was like, well, where are the kids? And then this, and it just escalated. This just feels like it just dumped all out. Which I mean, I guess some of it kind of did with just all the evidence coming out. You know what I'm saying? Because the evidence was just even more eye-opening, where I was like, no wonder Ruby had to say, I'm sure her lawyer told her they're going to release all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to use the kid's name. They've already had their privacy violation. I want to give them. Yeah, no, I agree. Murder nerd. The prosecutor interview on long crime. Oh, I saw a little bit of it, but I haven't listened to it. And I'm talking about the Aradim. I hope I said your name right. The prosecutor interview on long crime is interesting. I want to watch that. The whole thing. Yeah, I'm a bit shocked they released the diary. I know, Wyatt. Me too. I'm going to be going over that tomorrow, meaning doing the video for it for the weekend. And I might do it in 1 to 2 because it's like 60 pages. It's huge. I'll just see how much time I can do tomorrow. Because I know I'm going to be like, I'll probably end up being like, we're going live. I can't wait. Let's talk about it. That was the other thing too. Deborah says the Mormon church didn't want Jody going on trial since they were the ones sending couples to her. That's another part right there too. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to watch that. You know what I mean? Oh, Dwayne, thank you. Dwayne gifted more 10 memberships. Thank you, Dwayne. Y'all are awesome. Okay, what else? We've talked about the thing. We talked about the arrest. I felt like the arrest again, like, that the way that Ruby, and this just tells you everything. The way that Ruby was so controlled during her arrest, didn't say anything, and again, this is what you should do, right? It's just you rarely see people do it. Oh yeah, murder nerd the safe. Okay, let's talk about this, y'all. Okay, murder nerd says the safe 100%. Okay, first of all, now I have not gone through the body cam footage of them walking through the house yet, because I've been saving that towards like the latter part, the new one that's come out. You know what I'm saying? When the cop comes out, and murder nerd, I'm assuming this is what you're talking about. When the cop comes out to Jody and is like, excuse me, we need to get in this room. What's in the room with the little safe thing? And she's like, and he's like, is it a safe room? And that's what I'm thinking too. You know what I mean? Pardon me. You know what I mean? Like, it's what it sounds like. It's a room with a bath, with a toilet, and did she say a sink or something like that? And I'm like, and then well, I'll let you in there, but I don't have the key. Okay. And when the cop was like, so it's a room with a toilet and a sink, and you don't have the code to it. Okay. I haven't been in there in years. Really? Seriously. You haven't been in there in years. I mean, I'm just thinking this, like, what if there was a leak? Like, I'm thinking stuff like this. Like, don't you like walk through your house every day to make sure it's like not burning down? You know what I'm saying? That little kid, they were literally running their own little prison. And that's the thing. And that's the thing. So, wait, where do you go? Lady E says, all those secret rooms are crazy. It is. And it's like, what is this for? I understand. You have some of these like really rich people have like these safe houses or safe rooms or safe houses or underground bunker or whatever. Especially these prepper types and stuff like that, where they've been prepping and they're gearing up and all this type of stuff. So, all these numerous little things. I'm like, what are y'all doing in here? What's been going on before this? And I do think that, I mean, who just said that her torture chamber? Sandra says the safe was her torture chamber. Oh yeah. I mean, again, look at the little boy that jumped out the window, or whatever, got to the next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? This is why those kids were like freaked out whenever they were like, do we do something wrong? Imagine those final days when she was over at Jody's, staying over there, leaving the kids in her care. Because I think because they both looked at themselves as like messengers of God of some sort, they then had a captive audience, the children, to inflict their punishment on, and like whatever. I don't think the kids could ever do something that would be correct, and probably they wanted to just get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Same way they were doing with Kevin. On a Dwayne, so thank you, Dwayne Paul. This is from Miss Nancy Brophy. She hates us, I'm sure. Thank you, Dwayne. God, Nancy Bro, what is she up to? We're gonna have to look her up at some point. Side note: I saw the Erin Patterson, the mushroom lady from Australia. She a court date got moved around, something got moved up. She's in some form of like protective custody, but you can cook. I was like, really? I was like, you can cook? Okay. I thought you could only do that. I mean, it's a different country, obviously. I hope they don't give her damn mushrooms. Um, yeah, if they had gotten to, hold on. Thank you, Monica. Oh, Monica, let's celebrate, Monica. It's your first super chat on a live. Woohoo! Thank you, Monica. I feel honored. I do appreciate it. When you get to the journals, you'll see that even when the kids obey, they were accused of being. Yeah, see, so Vibe says when you get to the journals, you'll see that even when the kids obeyed, they were accused of being manipulative. Look at the same thing that Kevin was talking about. I jumped through the things, but if I did this, I was being manipulative. If I did this, I was seeking something. It didn't matter what you did. It was like they just wanted your wallet for Kevin. You know what I'm saying? The kids, they just wanted to control. They enjoyed it. It defined them. It gave them meaning, and also it gave them content, because I mean they're sitting here making this bizarre content on families and parenting and all this type of stuff. That's the thing. I mean, these situations like that, it's like, and then when Jody was in the interrogation room or whatever, and she's like, I'm a psychologist. I was like, girl, no. Okay. She's trying to be like common sense. I usually sit on your side. I know how this stuff goes. Yeah, you do. Because you're absolutely crazy. Makes me sick to my damn stomach. So I don't know. Even Mr. Roscoe P don't like Miss Nancy. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate it. Yeah, Roscoe says, no, but I don't like Miss Nancy. That's what they should do. They should put Nancy, Jody, Ruby together in one of those like big, things. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes of it. If Jody's a psychologist, I literally rolled my eyes so hard when she said that. I know, right, old soul? I was like, oh my God. But that's the thing. I mean, they watching these characters like this, whether it's Lori, whether it's Chad, whether it's Ruby, whether it's Letitia, they tell on themselves. You know what I'm saying? They let these things out, and let me tell you what. I pray Deception Detective does a video on this. In fact, let's go look. Y'all know who I'm talking about? I am hooked on this man's channel. Hold on. Deception Detective. Let's see. Did he do a video on this? The McCains. He did do one on Madeline the Soto stepfather. Nicole Kissinger, Nicole Watts. He hasn't done one of the, I hope he does one of this. I hope he does one. It'll be good. If you haven't watched his channel, it's amazing. I love listening to him talk about stuff. And he does a lot of stuff on there. Okay, so I haven't seen him do anything on this case recently, unfortunately. Yeah, hopefully he will. Oh yeah, Laura. Laura, you talking about the video, the TikTok we watched earlier? Um, Dr. G explains. Are you talking about Dr. Grande? I do. He absolutely lied to the cops because first he never saw Jody's house and then he did visit it. First called to Ruby, he is bad mouthing Sherry, and he said that's a name chat. No, he's not. Yeah, so now that's the thing too. So that brings up a good point. Kevin's again the same way that he would talk about his gut feeling, where he was like, "Here's my gut," and then I went with it anyway. Which I mean, we're all guilty of that at times. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but it's just the what do you call it? The accumulation of how often he does this, right? To the point in this context. So, but I get that a little bit, but it's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Um, you got to reel it in at some point. Dr. G's, hold on, okay, hold on. Our epic on Stinky and Stupid. Let me look at Dr. G, and thank you, Gossip. Hold on, let me look him up. Dr. G. Dr. G explains it came first thing. Oh no. Oh, okay. Wait, I have seen. It's been a minute. Oh, that's what I'm listening to tonight. Oh yeah, he's got. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is. Oh god, he's got good ones. Okay, yeah, I'm listening to this tonight when I go. Thank you. I'm subscribed now. That's what I do. So my thing recently at nighttime is recently it's been deception detective. Uh and I'll put something he did on. He did a marathon where he put all his video and the McCains together. Oh, that's what I was going to ask y'all. So let's see. Well, everybody's in here. Let's do our housekeeping thing real quick. Defendant talks to Random President. Oh, thank you, Dwayne. I mean, when I say it was a fun video to make, she's so easy to make fun of because she was so horrible, and what she did is so horrible. If y'all aren't sure what Dwayne's talking about, it's Nancy Brophy, but be careful. She will absolutely put you to sleep, even on the stand. That's the other thing too. If these two, Jody and Ruby, had taken this to trial and they took the chance to get on that stand, we'd still be sitting here. They would not shut up. Okay, that's the thing that they also like to do, is these narcissistic killers and stuff, is they love getting up there and talking about their story. We all want to be heard, right? I get this. Like, this is a human thing, but they take it to the next level. Nancy Brophy is the actual epitome of this. I mean, it was so ridiculous, y'all, that case. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you, Diana. I appreciate it. Oh, wait, hold on. This is your 5th super chat on the live stream. I do appreciate it. We feel honored, and so does Roscoe, who is still sitting here. So now, while we're all here, so everybody knows, Sunday we're doing the member Patreon chat in the morning time. It's already posted, but I'll repost it. What's Thursday? So tomorrow, I guess, whatever, I'll post it. We're doing that in the morning time. You'll see it posted, the link and all that type of stuff. Now also, so I launch it from this channel, just so you know, all live chat. So even if you're a member of the other main channel, you get the link over there, but it's launched from here. So some people will come over there and be like, why, this is weird. It's just, that's how I do it. And then I put it on Patreon too. So that being said, then that evening at 7:00, we're doing our kind of standing weekend podcast thing. We're going to be talking about Chad Daybell, how we're going to be streaming the trial, what we're going to do over here on this channel for it. And then we're going to talk more about this, because by then I would have gone through the diaries. You know what I'm saying? And so there'll be that. So just be kind of on the lookout. Thank you, Mystery Willow. I appreciate it. Excuse me. So yeah. So there's that. But yeah, so next question. For those that have followed me, or like if you know what I'm talking about, if you know, but see what I'm saying. Okay, so I did a reading of Chad Daybell's book, God Help Us All. God Help Us All, y'all. And it's done across several videos. Well, then I saw Deception Detective do, and I've seen other people doing this, where they do marathon videos where they combine all their content on one thing into one and put it together. And I was like, is this something that people would want? Y'all let me know. One foot in the grave. Should I go through and edit it into one long video and re-upload it, since it's coming back out. You know what I'm saying? Since we're going to trial on it now. Because I figured one thing that I was gonna do is you know how like you'll be doing like streaming a trial, but then like things will go dead or quiet. Like if it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we're not talking about the case or whatever, um, then um I was gonna do a live reading of his book in between or whatever. It's so eye-opening into how he thinks. Now I know he wrote it a long time ago, but I don't think that much has changed from that apple cart. Saying broken wheels on it, right? Okay, so yes. Remember that? I laughed so hard. Don't watch it. Where is it? Okay, so Pat Girl. So I think it's on. Well, I know it's on the main channel, but I think it's in a playlist on there now. So if you go look at my playlist or whatever, yeah, Murder Nurse's Loin Fire, y'all, it's next level. I mean, it's bad. Okay, it's bad. It's bad. Okay, I'm talking. It's scary to think that they walk amongst us. Okay, yeah, the cringe. Aaron says cringe. Yeah, the cringe is so hardcore. So I'll work on that. But we'll be lining everything up Sunday night, kind of like what we'll do. And basically, I mean, spoiler alert. So I do normal things. So basically, what we'll do is like I might be like, okay, Monday I'm going to be live streaming from 9 to 12 or whatever. I'm making that time up, and so we'll hang out and live stream and watch the trial together. So it's not like I'm going to be able to sit here and be like, every day of the trial I'm going to live stream and this is your go-to place for it. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like, hey, when I can, we're going to do it, but I'm just going to be aware of it because I usually don't. I think I live streamed some of Lori's trial or maybe Letitia. I can't remember. These major ones that we followed for a while when it coincides with my work and I'm able to, I'm totally down for it. So yeah. Okay, they walk amongst us. Yeah, I mean, seriously. What do y'all think of Summer Shiflet going to Crime Con? Side note, we're just kind of going off topic here now. Summer Shiflet is Junior Prize. I don't want to disappoint you. Thank you, first of all, for the super chat. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you had to sit and, especially now, if it was like you had to get up here and actually read them verbatim but be serious, talking about. I then explained to her that her loins were made of fire, and I sought her dirty, dirty, naughty loins. And you're just like, oh my God, like seriously? That's how it literally are. That might be a damn line for the book. Okay. Okay, so Summer Shiflet is going to be at CrimeCon as a speaker. I believe Nate Eaton is going to be interviewing her. Yeah, Peter Griffin, 100% Chad. So Summer Shiflet, pardon me, Summer Shiflet is Lori Daybell's sister. She is Lori Daybell's sister. People feel very divided about her on many levels and ways, because again, there's a lot of trajectory from that case, the Daybell case, from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, people were definitely not a fan of Summers. She did find some grace when, again, evidence was released and we heard her screaming and yelling. We heard her upsetness. So there's that. I'm debating if I'm going to say this. We have found all the stuff that we want to do in Nashville. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I was talking to Derek today. I was like, do we have time to even go to Crime Con? I was like, there's so much stuff we want to do in Nashville. Country Hall, Music of Fame, you name it, right? But anyways, so there's going to be definitely some things there. Jean Benet's dad is going to be there again, which I just can't believe that he would do that. Regardless of how you might feel on like guilt, not get whatever, it's just like, and of course he's there. I don't know. I would be scared to death if I was him to go do that, but he's probably used to it at this point. You know what I'm saying? What did Chad's first one? Yeah. Oh God, what was it? I don't remember. Let's not forget that Alex likely killed the older sister. Yeah, oh, I mean, it's just a whole, that their case is insane. And the fact that Chad is getting ready to go up, I personally, I mean, I don't want to say, this is going to be very interesting. Okay. Personally, can't wait to see Melanie Gibb get on the stand. Okay. Literally praying it doesn't happen when I'm at work. Thank you, Broken Scout. So yeah. Oh yeah, the brother's not gonna go. Hold on, Murder Nerd said I did a deep dive into that family. Yeah, it's just it never. I'll say this: God only knows what we keep finding. Because isn't Ruby's? Oh, thank you, Dwayne. Dwayne did 10 more memberships. You're so sweet, Dwayne. Isn't all of Ruby's family like content creators on YouTube making these family vlog things? You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it just kind of keeps going on and on and on, right? Melanie's east won't get out of this time. Oh yeah, she's gonna have to get up there. Yeah, her sisters. Okay, yeah. So the read was the first time I saw you. I ran to find. Oh, that's that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. And a lot of people said it's the first time that they found me. See, hold on, I'm trying to get. Hold on, how's it? I missed you. I can't heart it. It's gone. Wait, here it is. Where'd you go? I was trying to heart it. There you go. Boom. There you go. Okay, cool. Apparently a lot of people found me that way. Well, see, the thing is, and maybe I agree, where people were talking about, essentially like in Hollywood, there's laws and stuff like that for child labor, stuff like this, but you don't have that for these, I mean, it's your family. So these scenarios, like, people like Ruby can monetize the family, make them work crazy hours, do all this crazy stuff, and there's no laws around it because, I mean, it's your home, right? So what are you going to do? All of Ruby's siblings have channels as well as her parents. My God. I mean, just sucking all the bandwidth of that whole damn family. Yeah, we need to have. And see, that's pardon me. And that's it's like it's a very interesting. Like, how could the platforms do that to avoid this kind of stuff? You know what I'm saying? It'd be very interesting. So, everybody, it is now time for me to get ready for bed. I have a very early day tomorrow. So, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, be on the lookout for my Kevin video. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. Kevin's second interview, it'll be out. And then again, I'll post reminders, but Sunday we got 2 live chats. I know it's a holiday, so a lot of people might not be, do your family thing and all that. That comes first, obviously. But if you are around and want to hang out with me and, well, Roscoe, well, I welcome it. Y'all, thank you so much. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Dwayne, for all the memberships. Thank you to all the people who are gifting memberships. That's just amazing. Welcome to all the new members. Be sure to look out for the community page and all that fun stuff. And then again, let me know when y'all want different emojis and stuff. I added 3 of them today from a feedback that Emily was telling me y'all were asking for. So that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for talking about this. I've literally been dying to come here and do that. I'm sorry I threw all this information up. I tried to make notes. I was like, I'm just going to have to throw it all up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's been boiling and boiling and boiling in my simmering or whatever. Anyways, that's it. I love y'all. Ross, you want to say goodnight? Say no, no, no. Child labor laws on me. Anyways, thank you. I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I will see y'all in just a couple of days. Thank you again to everybody. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, everybody. Sofa Squad. Sleep tight. I will